Hey baby dolls, if you've been checking out my Twitter, you've seen that Martini Gimp. He made a video basically saying, I will never buy HEX. HEX is crap, don't buy it. He says, I fell out of HEX because of what Richard Hart did to the community. Now, of course, that Martini guy has blocked me, so he's now known as that Martini Gimp. If you want to know what a Gimp suit is, friends, have a look at it on Google. Okay, so I just think it's interesting that I've been watching Martini Gimp for 3 years now, and never does he say don't buy this coin. Almost never. It's really, really, really rare. So I'm going to take this as a counter signal. All right. Now, we already knew that eHEX is contrarian. I mean, friends, it's so contrarian. That Martini guy won't touch it. Like, friends, that Martini guy, that Martini Gimp is making, is making, he makes like a top 10 videos to 100x, top 10 coins to 100x. He makes a video like every 4 to 6 weeks. Now, here's the thing. He's been doing this every 4 to 6 weeks since 2022. So for 3 years. Now, here's the most interesting part. If you go watch any of his videos, there are always people who are new, haven't discovered him before, and they're like, wow, thank you so much for this opportunity. But then if you scroll down to the comments, you find people from the previous video. So he's just been doing this over and over again. And every time you go to the previous video, they're like, what happened to coin XYZ and OJA and B22? And then I'm like, oh, those poor people. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember those coins from 6 weeks ago. Let me guess. They're never going anywhere. And he's moved on again. So he just does it. He just does new ones over and over and over. Now, his style is to throw stuff and flicks and stuff. But that's what he does for marketing, right? When one thing goes up, he just tries to gather as many viewers and followers. And that's pretty much it, okay? So I'm looking at this thinking like, wow, man. Friends, if you saw the amount of absolute garbage filth that he has said to buy and won't touch eHEX just because of Richard Hart, I'm like, man, there has to be a counter signal. I'll just give you an example. One of these coins, I was in them from paid ICO. Like, it was we lost money on the ICO. That's how bad this one was. And it was to do with something like, it was so sad. It was like a voting coin meant to, like, it's so embarrassing, I don't even want to say it. It's meant to be political activism in the real world. I don't even want to remind myself of what it was. Why do we even enter this? Anyway, it was on him. He made like, yeah, it's worth getting in, you know. But he was in from the paid ICO launchpad. Now, he didn't know that we were going to get wrecked on it from our ICO price. That's how bad and much of a grift this thing was. So it was last bull market stuff. I'm thinking, well, if you had no problems talking about that absolute field, by the way, there's so many others. What's the problem with talking about something after it's dropped 88%? And when your friend Somi here shows you, hey, it ain't looking too bad on the eHEX to Pulse ratio. Now, of course, he doesn't know this. He doesn't know what ratios are. Doesn't know how to use them at all. But I like this, man. Look, it's gone sideways. It's gone sideways. That's just something to think about. Is he a counter signal? Now, here's the thing. You might ask me, hey, do you have any credentials or work experience when it comes to fading that Martini guy? Yeah, friends, I want to show you the most famous one. Have you noticed that there's a chart of Bitcoin here and it actually went up from this moment? Do you want to know who I used to call the bottom of Bitcoin to the tick? I used him. Okay, I'm not joking, friends. There were 30 influencers out there. Okay, I wasn't on YouTube. 30 influencers. I watched all of them. By this point, I'm not joking, 29 were now bearish. Okay, so we started with all 30 bullish, and by the end of this bear market, we came to 29. There was one guy left. That Martini Gimp. That's right. He was the only guy left. I promise you, friends. He was making, we should bounce now, bottoms in, bottoms in, bottoms in. He's making it every single 4 weeks. We finally came here, friends. I'm not joking. And he believed, he goes, look, he goes, I'm not joking. He literally goes, okay, we'll probably poke under 12K and then we'll go up from here. Okay, that was the first time, I'm not joking. I watched him the whole time. That was the first time he ever even implied the price could go lower. Literally, for the past 12 months straight, bottoms in, bottoms in, bottoms in, bottoms in, bottoms in. And in the final end, he goes, okay, bottom's not in. We're going to go a bit lower, then we're going up only. That was the bottom. It was literally the bottom to the tick. Okay. So that's why I remember this. That's why I'm sharing this with you free. And I'm just going, well, that's interesting how in this video, right? This is his video, right? He goes, I'm not touching eHEX. I don't like what Richard Hart does. Blah, blah. I mean, look, bro, you gotta have a giant downwards trending triangle here on the floor of the triangle. Friends, if I renamed that coin eHEX, if I renamed it to literally anything else, you know, orange juice, banana coin, Bitcoin 5.0, anything. If I renamed it to anything and he looked at that chart, he'd be like, oh, that's really, really, really cheap. There's a community there. They're tagging about it. Hell, your friend Somi, he's carrying it himself. You know what I mean? I'm here making videos, right? So, you know that based on the fundamentals, you know that like you're looking at the market, you're looking at 100,000 people saying it's over, and we're standing and saying, you know what? You're wrong. I think you're wrong. Okay. So, look, the number one reason why people say, hey, it's dead because Richard pretty much won't buy it with the SAC funds. Well, friends, newsflash, Richard is not the center of the universe. He is not the center of the crypto industry. In fact, he's not even close to the center of the crypto industry, friends. He is considered fringe. 0.1% of the crypto industry respect him. Not even joking, like literally 0.1%. The chart prices are all down. No one new cares about him, cleared from the adoption. So I'm just telling you that, guess what? Coins go up even when he doesn't like them. Okay, and they go up very far. Dog with Hat, Peppy. I'm going to go for thousands and thousands of others. Look what Tangan's been able to do, for example. Look at PAID. You know what I mean? Look at all this other stuff where he's like not even talking about it. He was hiding the PAID replies. Guess what? Still popped up. So I'm just telling you, yeah, having a billionaire buy a coin helps. But don't forget, man, crypto is a currency for the people, by the people. Okay, and once it infects everyone's minds with what's possible on the upside, that's enough of a spark to get things going. Now, of course, not financial advice. He could tweak this thing to zero. He could, I'm not joking, I have to say this. He can put an origin address wall and send this thing literally to zero forever because he owns all the coins, or he knows somebody who might control the origin address. He could do that. And for everybody else telling me that's an imaginary and horrible, well, you can go suck it. It's not imaginary and horrible because we just watched the guy 6 weeks ago tweet eHEX down minus 85%, which is something which is very strange because 2.5 years ago, I specifically remember him pooping on people on his stream saying, hey, are you stupid? Why would you fudge your own bags? Why would a founder fudge his own bags and do that? So what's this contradiction? That's what things, fans. I know a lot of people, you're like, hey, do I like it or do I not like it? I don't think like that. I'm like, oh, this is so tough to consider this thing cheap because the founder doesn't even like it. But man, this thing's cheap. That's it. That's what I'm coming. Looking at cheap and expensive. That's it. Buy low, sell high. You're my friend. Catch you soon.